Alright, this is a video of my entire G-scale layout. This is where it all started, right here. This is the retaining wall that goes around the patio. This is where it all started. I first started right back there, got some wood, and I did this all by eye. I didn't have like any fancy tools to help me level this or anything, so it's just kind of eyeballed it. So it's like a 2.5–3% grade down. So it's all held together by this wood ramp here for stilt wise, and I got some strapping to hold it to the wall so it can't move. So then it goes down the wall here. Again, this is all on 2x4s, and a 2x4 under turns sideways like an I-beam. Then it goes around the wall here. And it originally went this way. There's no switches here. There's just a curve and it follows through, but I have really big engines and cars and they don't like these 10-foot curves, especially back there where it does an S, like a chicane. So that's when I built this bridge here. I got a metal one. I actually welded up. I still haven't put it in there because I never got around to it. So the trains take the straight path and it goes around the hostas here, across the patio, well, the walkway, and here's another angle of it. Comes through here in front of the front porch, right along the steps, but kind of tucked. And here's a little siding for my passenger train, my little 30s era passenger train with a little depot there. And there is the spur track that leads into the house. There's a little chicken coop door that opens up and closes by the remote, and that's how we get our engines in and out of the house and the cars. But it's only a one way out deal, so the train's got to be turned around and brought back in. So here's the retaining wall I just built here, because originally I had these cheap wood gardening walls, and they did what that's doing. They tilt with it because all this ballast is heavy and it just pushes it over. So I said screw it. I got small retaining wall bricks and made my own wall, and this will outlast this entire railroad. It will never do that. But that's a spur track and there's not a lot of ballast there, so I'm just gonna leave it how it is. But yeah, as you can see, that's where it goes in the house underneath the porch. It curves to the left. It does like a slight S. So it looks like it's straight through, but it's not. So it comes around, and here's where it switches in. So this is a slight grade here. This is probably like a 1.5–2% grade here up. Comes around again. Here's a spur track for grain cars. I never really use it, or I don't know if I'll even use it, but so it keeps going. We'll get to this track later. You'll see, you'll understand. Comes through, and this is where it comes around here. I call this the poor man's Tehachapi Loop, because in California there's the Tehachapi Loop that BNSF and UP operate on, and it's really cool, and it inspired me to build this. So, and this loop here really helps out on the grade, because originally this track went higher and it just curved around the house. So this grade was really steep, way steeper than this. So with this loop here, it's a nice slight gradual grade up, and the trains go over themselves. So comes up here across the bridge. This is an LGB 4-foot bridge. Across here, this is the dog run here. So it goes in the back and it goes all the way to the other side there. Again, you'll see what the second track here, the far outside track, is for when I get over to the other side. So I guess we're going backwards now. It comes across the patio. This is temporarily. I'm going to make this look a lot nicer. And again, goes in the flower bed, comes across, and here's the Y. Okay, now I'm gonna start from here, going that way, then we'll get to here. So there's the dog run. This track is the main lead coming this way, so it goes straight through here, and it goes straight on back. So we'll follow that. It goes all the way along the fence line. There is 2-foot weed barrier on each side. I mean, underneath the track here. So there's weed barrier and ballast all along. Then this is the back of the property here. And these are 2 big curves. Got a spare. And it goes along back here, so where it gets fun. This is I think it's a chipmunk hole or something, because for a long time the chipmunk kept on digging out my ballast. So I said, screw it. I found the hole where he's getting in. He went through the weed barrier, and I put a piece of pipe in there and covered it with ballast, and now he just goes in and out of the pipe. So thank God that's dealt with. This is where it starts to become elevated here. So we have 2 trains on here right now. They're sitting right now. So this becomes elevated. So I use 4x4 posts for the main post. I use 2x4s for the beams going across, and 1x6s for the boards going across, treated. So again, single main, because remember this is a return loop. So that's where you can see the post. Here's my train, my GP9s, and some boxcar. These are my dad's F7 Sioux lines. I custom painted these because my dad loves Sioux line, and these trains went through his town when he was a little kid, and he always loved them. So I recreated that in G-scale for him. And these are all Rail Pro. All our engines are Rail Pro converted and battery. So that's pretty cool. And he's running some boxcars too. So we got a BN caboose on the rear here, and a Sioux line caboose on the rear of this one. So this inner track is a siding. I gotta finish it. Goes around back, connects back, and come back to the main. So you can set a train in there, and well, another one goes by. So it's all treated besides the 2x4s. Goes around the back, and goes around, and then we start heading back. And so far the trains run pretty well. Okay, right here there's a left-hand switch. I'm getting another left hand. So if you want to bring your train inside, you just come off this track, diverge over, and come in on the track that you came out of the house. So if that makes any sense. Because if you didn't, you got to back your entire train inside, or I'll show you when we get up here. So coming along. Okay. Now the switch, you can either bypass the front section of the house. So you just take that track all the way back. That's what that outside track is on the right side in the dog run. And that switch I showed you way down there, way past some hostas, past that tree. That's that switch that allows the train to just keep on going back. So if you want to just go back and forth between the very back and the Tehachapi loop, you can just bypass the front section of the house here and just go back and forth instead of going in the front. And that's what this originally was, the main line. Besides the switch, it was just a big loop around the house. That's it. There was none of this or that. There was no loop. It was just a big circle. So now, if you want to take the front section of the house, like how it is right now, it merges over, comes across, and then you're going around the house. So that is pretty much it. You know what? I will show you our little staging track area in the house here. So without that switch I put in the very back there on the elevated track to bring your train in, if that switch wasn't there, you have to bring your train on this outside track on the very far side. Either leave your cars out or not. Come along here. When your train gets past the switch, either the engine or the cars, you flip that switch and just back up and take that switch in the house. You could do that, or if you came along the front of the house, came up here and backed up. But now with that switch back there, that allows the train to diverge onto this inner track, and essentially it reverses it. So now you're going down the grade and running your train right in the house, no problem. So that's why I'm putting that switch back there, because this is a one-way in, one-way out type option. And there's really no easy way to put another chicken coop door, because it would be too short of a gap, because the track goes uphill from that switch right there. It goes uphill, and that dog door would have to be put in, chicken coop door would have to be put in somewhere like right here or right here. Then we're coming through the wall and everything, and it'd be a pain in the ass. So that's pretty much it. I'll show you the staging tracks. Right, now I'm in the train room here. Actually, I'll go down the steps and show you. Okay, go up the steps. Here is where I store all my box cars, kind of like how you see, but like that stock car is. Boxes there's boxes down there. I have some inner models here, all my others are on the shelves. Here's my Santa Fe Super Chief. Got some grain cars there, but we'll get to the cars in a second. So here's where the train comes in. Come on, okay. So it comes in through there. There's 3 staging tracks here, and it dead ends back there. So, yeah, and here's the remote to open and close the chicken coop door. It's like a little mini garage door. And yeah, that white powder stuff right there is for ant killer powder shit. But yeah, so I'll show you some cars only here though. So here's my other steam engine. It's also Real Pro. So here's all my green cars. There's about 40 of them here. These are all LGB grain cars. They all have metal USA Trains wheels and KD couplers. And one of them has a Bachmann end of train device on it that works. So that's pretty cool. Got a little workbench here to work on some stuff. Got some cars down there, but all this is filled in with boxes. And there too, behind that tote. I got my snow plow here. I got another plow down there. There's my Denbo Rio Grande passenger train I was telling you guys about. That's the engine for it. And I got another passenger car hiding back there. I have 7 of these AML grain hoppers. They're pretty cool. Then we have an MTH caboose back here that we're gonna strip. Me and my dad are gonna strip and paint. So, and turn into EJ&E. Yeah, it's kind of funny how I said that. There's EJ&E right there. Yep, so that's pretty much it for the train room. Yeah, there's not much else to show you guys. So yeah, that is the rest of our grand tour of the G-Scale layout.